4. So all we have to do is put the dots on here. So we're going to show 4 and 236 thousandths with the highlighter. Oops. Okay, and there's one thing they didn't do for us. They didn't pop our decimal up, did they?
Nope.
Why can we pop the decimal up there?
So we can, because it's a whole number.
We're dividing by a whole number, so we just get to forget about the decimal. Place value won't change from the dividend to the quotient. Okay? Okay, so the first thing I have to decide, can I put these 4 dots into 3 groups? Okay, how many will be in each group? And that will leave 1 left over. Okay, what does this look like on the standard algorithm? Well, I'm going to put 1 in each group. What's 1 times 3?
3.
And 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the standard algorithm. Now, just a minute. We talked about, does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? There is, but we're going to do it this way to start with. So I've got divide, which I did when I divided into 3 groups, correct? And then I multiplied 1 times 3 to get 3, and then I subtracted. So I'm at the check portion of it. Who remembers what I need to check? Cooper?
Your answer and your whole number?
Well, you're close. Your remainder, or what's left over after you subtract,
And your divisor.
and your divisor. Is the remainder less than the divisor?
Yes.
Okay, so you can bring down the next number. Notice how far apart I had to write those numbers. Why did I write them so far apart? That's not normally how I make a 12. Who knows? Nope, just watch, okay? So why did I write the 2 so far over here?
So you don't get it mixed up?
No, so I have them in a line. I want to keep them in a line if I can. You remember when Mrs. Ray was here and I had you take notebook paper and turn it sideways to make your columns? Well, we're going to do that tomorrow with long division, okay? So keeping them in a line, not just making a 12, but make sure it's underneath the number and above it. Okay, so what does that look like here?
Bring 1 down.
I'm going to take this 1, 1 and trade it for what? 10 tenths. And I should have 12 tenths. Is that what I have here?
Yes.
Yes, I do. 12 tenths. Was that your question?
Yeah. In the hundreds place, there's
Oh, okay, got it. I thought I had 3 there. All right. Okay, so now are we ready? All right, so I'm going to take 12 and divide it into 3 groups. Help me out here. Miranda, how many should be in each group? 4. So with your highlighter, make 4. And that means I crossed all these off. And I'm crossing the 10 off with the big X. So what does that look like on the standard algorithm? How many were in each group? 4. What's 4 times 3?
12.
And I should have 0 left over. Okay? So now it looks like I have 3 in the hundredths. If I check this, is 0 less than my divisor? So bring down your 3. How many will be in each group, boys and girls? 1. And do I have any remaining? No. So I have 1 in each group. 1 times 3 is 3. Ending up with a 0 again, aren't I?
Yep.
Okay. So the next one I have 6. How many will be in each group, Zadie?
2.
If I have 6, how many will be in each group? And do I have any remaining?
No.
No. Okay, now that means I have 2 in each group. Oh, I haven't brought down my 6 yet, have I? 2 in each group will give me 6. And I'm done. So my answer is 1 and 412 thousandths. Okay? All right, put your highlighters down. We're done with those things. Now you're not going to be able to write too huge when we do this. Okay? But we practiced this a little bit on Friday, Brandon. And the reason I'm talking to Brandon is because he wasn't here. And who remembers my new and improved 5th grade strategy for doing this? Instead of the place value chart, Camina, we're going to count by 2s. Okay? And when you count by 2s, there's a certain way I want you to do it. Only go up to 2 times 9, because we will never write a 10 on top anyway. So beside each multiple of 2, I want you to write the factor that we multiply times 2. And you can write this anywhere on your paper that you want, that you feel like you have room. If you feel like you don't have room over on this side, you can write it over here. I like to have it directly to the right of my problem. It just works better for me that way. Okay, and I can pop my decimal up because I'm multiplying times, or dividing by a whole number. Now here's what I don't want you to do. Okay, I don't want you to work ahead. Okay, so this is how you did it in 4th grade. You would say, okay, I cannot divide 1 dot into 2 groups. So you would put a 0 in both places. Okay, don't write it. In 5th grade, we're going to skip that 0 step down here. So I'm just going to write a 0 at the top, and then I'm going to put a box around the 13. Go ahead and do that. Now, why do you think I'm putting a box around the 13? Because I'm going to do 13 divided by 2. Okay? Now I come over here, and I find the number closest to 13 without going over. What is it? 12. 12 is closest to 13. Only look at these numbers, Cooper, okay? The multiples of 2. So 12, that's actually the multiplying part. What's the division part? 6. So I'll write the 6 on top. And then 2 times 6, we've already done it. What is it? 12. Go ahead and spread it out so that you're lined up. So we just took care of Does McDonald's by skip counting. Skip counting did the division and the multiplication for us. Okay? So now we're ready to subtract. Is 1 less than my divisor?
Yes.
Okay, so bring down your 2. Oh, it looks like we have the same number again. We're trying to find a number that's closest to 12. So I'm just going to put a little circle inside of my circle. Okay, and where will I write the 6? Where will I write the 12? And I get 0 when I subtract. Check. Is 0 less than my divisor?
Yes.
Bring down your 4. So what number over to the side is closest to 4 without going over? 4. Circle it. Where do I write the 2? Where do I write the 4? Okay. So I'm pretty sure most of you could have done it without the skip counting strategy. Raise your hand if you think you could have. Okay, good. I knew that. Okay? Here's why I want you to use the skip counting strategy right now. Because it's going to get harder.
And it's going to help you.
And here's the thing. Instead of having a 1-digit divisor, we're gonna start having a 2-digit divisor. And that changes things, okay? So if you can practice this skip counting strategy so that it's automatic, when we get to 2-digit divisors, you're going to be much more successful. And that's what I want for you. Am I doing this because I'm mean and I want you to do all these extra steps that you don't need? No, I'm teaching you something for when you really need it. But it's much easier to learn a strategy when the math is easy. And then we'll apply it when the math gets harder. Okay, so let's go to the second page. Looks to me like there's no place value chart, which is what we wanted in the first place, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write my problem. I'm going to put my problem pretty far over. Make sure you don't get it too close so that you can't write an answer up there. But there's my problem. 78 hundredths divided by 3. Did they staple upside down?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
So get your problem on there and then skip count by what?
Threes.
3s. Then you can stop at 27. The nice thing about this is it kind of reviews multiplication for you when you have to skip count all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And make sure you write the factors beside. That's pretty important. So once you have your problem all set up, can you put your pencil down so I know you're ready to start, please? Now, I'm very impressed with the 4th grade teachers and how they were able to get you to remember how to do log division. Jacob, are you done skip counting?
No.
Okay, very good. All right. So I noticed something about this problem. I'm dividing a number less than 1 by 3. I'm dividing a number less than 1 into 3 equal groups. That's kind of tricky when you stop and think about it.
Yeah.
Why did I pop my decimal straight up?
Because it's a whole number. Your divisor.
And I'm not, my place value is not going to change.
Yep.
So instead of writing a 0 here, I put a 0 at the top because I know I can't divide 0 in the 3 groups. And then I'm going to put a box around the 7. And you're going to hear me call that chunk the 7 sometimes. You know how when you're reading and you chunk little parts of a word?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just chunking a little part of this number. Okay, so now over to the side. Which number, I'm going to pull a stick, is a mark. Which number is closest to 7 without going past? 6. So circle it. Where will I write the 2? Anybody remember? Above the 7. I'm going to write the 6 down below. I'm ready for subtract already. 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay? Now I have, is 1 less than my divisor of 3?
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to bring down the 8.
Bring down the 8. Okay, I'm going to pull a stick. I'm looking for a number close to 18 without going over. Cooper?
6.
Well,
Or 18.
18. Very good. 6 is actually the factor.
Okay.
18. So where will I write the 6?
Up at the top.
And where will I write the 18?
Right under the 18.
And we're done. Okay, so my answer to this is 26 what? 26 hundredths. Okay, so the next one, we're going to divide by what?
4.
Okay, so I'm going to put 7 and 28 hundredths divided by 4. And I'm popping my decimal up. And I will skip count by what?
4.
You can stop at 32, I think, if my memory is right.
36.
No, today on this one, you can stop at 32. Typically, you would go all the way to 36, but I'm saving you a little writing because I'm pretty sure that's all we need. So what this means is 4 times 6 is 24. It's like a little multiplication problem, okay? All right, so can I put 7 into 4 equal groups? Yes, I can. If I have 7 dots, can I put them in 4 groups? Yeah. How many would I put in each group? 1 in each group, right? Okay. So 1 in each group. And how many does that give me left?
3.
Okay. So I want you to get caught up with me. Okay, I'm ready to check. Is 3 less than 4? So bring down the 2. Notice I'm keeping it all lined up. Do I have a 32 over here? Circle it. Jimena, where will I write the 8? Above the 2. And the 32 below. And I've got 0. So is 0 less than my divisor? Of course, right? So bring down your 8. Do I have an 8 over here?
Yes.
Okay. Where will I write the 2? Above. And did you notice I'm writing it above the number I just dropped down? So if you got everything all lined up, that's going to help a lot. Okay? All right, the next one. Looks a little
Can we do
different.
it by ourselves?
Not yet. I know you're ready for that, but I'm going to have you practice that tomorrow. I want to keep skip counting with you today. So 17, whoops, why did I write a 4? 17 and 45 hundredths divided by 5. So what will I skip count by here? 5s. So let's get it all set up. And you can stop at 9 times 5. Now, I know what you want to do. You want to just show me how good you are at division, and I already know that, okay? I want to keep practicing the strategy. So, can I pop my decimal up? Yes, because I'm dividing by a whole number. Okay, now, you may have written a 0 here above the 1, but my idea is to put a box around what? 17. So this is a little different than you did in 4th grade, okay? So if I'm just looking at the 17, Jaden, which number over here is closest? The 15, so circle it. Okay, so how many groups? How many will be in each group? 3. It goes above what number? The 7. It has to be the 7. Because my answer is going to be 3 1s. Then I write the 15 and subtract. Is 2 less than 5? Okay, bring down the 4. Miguel, which number over to the side is closest to 24 without going over? 20. So circle it. So 4 times 5 is 20. I'll put the 4 on the top, the 20 on the bottom, and subtract. Can I bring down the 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because
Because it's less than your.
What's less?
your answer is
That's not my answer. It's my remainder, actually, right? 4 is less than 5. So I can bring down my 5. Is there a 45 over here?
Yeah.
9 times 5 is 45. Okay, now I know why it's easy. Because this multiply and divide part is the hardest part. Once you get that figured out, subtract, bring down is pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plus check is pretty simple. Okay, so let's go down and do another problem, and I'm going to have you try this one on your own. So it's right here, and there's not much room, but let's write 1.48 divided by 4. Actually, should I read the problem first? Yeah. Mrs. Nigel used 1 4/800 meters of netting to make 4 identical mini hockey goals. How much netting did she use per goal? This word right here, per, guess what? It tells me I'm going to divide. Okay, so whenever you see per something, you're probably going to divide. Okay, so what am I going to skip count by? Okay, you want to take it from here?
Yeah.
All right. Don't forget to circle over to the side after you do your skip counting, okay? I'm going to pause it while you work on it. So the main problem with this is I've got to chunk it at the 14 or put a box around the 14 because if I have one dot, can I put it into 4 groups?
No.
No. So that means I cannot divide in the ones place. And remember, in 4th grade, you might have put a 0 there and then subtracted to get the 1 and then bring down the 4. Does that make you remember that?
Yep.
We're skipping that step in 5th grade and we're putting a box around the 14. Just because I know what's coming in 2-digit divisors, okay? So now I'm looking over here. Which number is closest to 14 without going over? 12. So that means my 3. So Jacob, when I said you got the place value wrong, you understand what I meant?
Yep.
Okay. You don't want to write that 3 in the ones place by accident. So now we have 4 minus 2. Is 2 less than 4? So I can bring down my 8. Do I have a 28? Oh, good, I do. So that means I have what on top? 28 on the bottom. And my answer is 37 hundredths meters. And do I need a 0 in front of that? If I were going to write a sentence, what sentence would I write? Mrs. N
Mrs. N
used
37
hundredths meters of netting per goal. Of netting per goal. And what does the word per tell us?
That you're going to divide.
That you're probably going to divide. I love the next problem. Excuse me. So, this problem's awesome for a couple reasons. Number one, look at the name of the... aren't you reading a book about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read it. And this is a real life problem that you might have at Walmart or somewhere. Okay, so listen. Esperanza usually buys avocados for 94 cents a piece. During a sale, she gets 5 avocados for $4.10. How much money did she save per avocado? Use the tape diagram and show your calculations. Okay, now it says per avocado. Okay, so are you ready? I need a tape diagram, and I'm going to need 2 of them, actually. I'm going to do one of them for what she usually, that was a bad tape diagram, for what she usually buys avocados for. So she usually buys 5, or if she bought 5, how much would they be each? 94 cents, and I'm not putting a 0 in front of that because I don't have much room. Okay, now on this one, where would your question mark be?
At the top.
At the top. We don't know the total, do we?
Yeah.
Okay, but we know they're 94 cents a piece. This time, we know a total. We just don't know how much they are each. Okay? So, did you see the word per? So what am I probably going to do? Divide. Now there's more than one way to solve this, but I think we'll start with division, okay? So what will my division problem be? My total, so $4.10
divided by 94.
divided by how many did she buy?
5.
5.
Okay.
Okay. So we will skip count by what, boys and girls?
5.
5s.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have the same issue as last time. If I have 4 dots, can I put them in 5 groups?
No.
No. So in 5th grade, we're gonna put a box around 4.1.
Chunk it.
Right, so we're looking for the number 41. In your multiples of 5, which number is closest, JJ, without going over? 8. Now here's the problem. Jacob, where will I write the 8? In the tens place. Very good. And what will go in the ones? The 0. Okay. So the 40 goes below. And I have a remainder of 1. Is 1 less than 5? So I can bring down my 0. Do you see a 10 over here?
Yes.
Okay. Circle it. Where did I write the 2? Good. So we now know how much these cost a piece. How much are they? 82 cents. She normally buys them for 94 cents. But she got them on sale for 82 cents. Now it says, how much money did she save?
12 cents.
Why do you say 12 cents?
Because if she adds 2 to the 2 equals 4, and if you add 1 to the 8 equals
So he's adding. Now a lot of times when you try and figure out how much money you're going to save, you're going to subtract. So that's why I wrote a subtraction problem there. So how much money will Esperanza save per avocado? 12 cents per avocado. All right. Yeah, that's a really good problem because if you're at Walmart, you got a sale on these avocados over here, and then you got your regular ones that you usually buy, but could you get them in a bag, or should you buy them each for 94 cents? Now that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you had to guess, what could you do to guess on this? Could you round it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I could round 94 cents to what?
$1.
$1. And I could round $4.10 to
$4.
$4.
Because you have
Okay?
tax
So,
too.
and you have tax too. So 94, $1 times 5, that would have been, now this is just an estimate, but it would have been $5, right? $4 for this total. Which one are you going to buy? The bag of avocados or 5 individually?
Bag.
Of course.
$5.20. And plus you might get more.